Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to our today's class. Students, hope all are well by the grace of Allah. I am also fine, Alhamdulillah. Students, today we are going to learn a letter from an unseen passage. And before going to write a letter, we have to have clear idea about the parts of the letter. And we also need to know what are the positions of the parts of the letter and what type of words or sentence we need to write of the parts of the letter. Then it will be helpful for us to write a beautiful letter. So letters are written to close acquaintances of the writer, their family, friends and relatives. As they are written to close relatives, they have an informal and personal tone. And sometimes the letters may even have an emotional undertone. Overall, informal letters are mainly used for personal communication. So students, today we are going to learn a letter from an unseen passage, whose lecture number 60. So let's go to the discussion. Students, can you tell how to write a letter to a friend? What should we follow to write a letter? Yes, it is certain that we have to follow an unseen passage at the time of writing any letter, and then we have to write all the parts of a letter maintaining proper position. Before going to our today's class, we want to review previous class. Review previous lesson. Students, can you tell what you have learned from your previous class? Let's think. Yes, we have learned what is a letter, how many parts of a letter, how to write a letter, what are the positions of the parts of the letter, and where should we use comma. Students, can you tell what will be our today's topic? Yes, today's topic, letter from unseen passage. Now we will learn how to write a letter to a friend by following an unseen passage. Why do we write letters? We write letters to our friends and relatives to know about them. We write for sending and receiving information. We write letters to different institutions, organizations for seeking specific information, administration, and also for jobs. Letter writing. Every educated person should know how to write a clear and readable letter. Everyone has sometimes to write personal letters of some sort, may have to face the problem of writing an important letter that will finally affect his interest in life. The art of letter writing is, therefore, no merely ornamental accomplishment, but something that every educated person must acquire for practical reasons. Types of letters. We know that there are two types of letters. One is informal letter, another one is formal letter. So let's know. Informal letter, the letter which is written for personal purpose, is called informal letter. It is written to friends. It is also written to father or mother. But formal letter, the letter which is written for official purpose, is called formal letter. It is written to principal. It is also written to headmaster. It is also written to manager. The form of letters. Letters are messages, but certain letter forms have been established by experience and custom as the most useful, find, learned, and used by every letter writer, for neglect of them is a sign of ignorance and carelessness. Different parts of a personal letters. There are 5 parts of a personal letter. Let's know what are the parts. Number 1, the heading, consisting of the writer's address and date. 2 number, the greeting or salutation. Number 3, the communication or message. It is also called the body of the letter. 4 number, the subscription or leave taking or conclusion. And 5 number, the signature. And another part is the superscription on the envelope. The heading. This informs the reader where you will write the letter and when. The where, which should be the writer's full postal address. It gives the address to which the reader may reply, and the when for reference, as it gives him the date on which you will write. The position of the heading is at the top right hand corner of the first page, the address above and the date just below it. Salutation or greeting. The form of greeting will depend upon the relation in which you stand to the person to whom you are writing. To members of your family, as per examples, dear father, dear mother, like this. To friends, you can write dear Rahman, dear Khalil, write this. To business people, you can write dear sir, dear sirs. The position of the salutation is at the left hand of the first page, at a lower level than the heading. The communication or body of the letter. This is the important part of a letter. It is sometimes called the heart of the letter. This is, of course, the letter itself, and the style in which it is written will depend upon the kind of letter you wish to write. The style of its letter to an intimate friend will be very different from that of a purely business letter or an official letter. But a few hints that apply to all letters are given below. A. Divide your letter into 3 paragraphs. B. Use simple and direct language and short sentences. Be clear about what you want to say and say it as directly. C. Try to be complete. Think out what you want to say before you begin to write. D. Write neatly. Remember that your correspondent has to read what you write and don't give him unnecessary information. E. Mind your punctuation and put in commas, semicolon and full stop in their proper places. Incorrect punctuation may alter the whole meaning of a sentence. The subscription or leave taking. A letter must not end suddenly, simply with the writer's name. This would look rude. So, certain forms of polite leave taking are mentioned below. You can write yours sincerely, your sincere friend, yours faithfully, etc. The subscription must be written below the last word of the letter and to the right side of the page. This is the traditional method. Also noted that the first word of the subscription must begin with a capital letter, and at the end you must use comma. The signature or name of the writer. This must come below the subscription. Thus, yours sincerely, comma, then signature Tori. In letters, the signature should be clearly written so that reader may know whom to address in reply. Students, this is the address on the envelope or postcard. How to write the sender's address and receiver's address on envelope. This is the important things. So let's see how to write the addresses on envelope. So left side you have to write sender's address. Example, from, then comma, then the sender's name Tori, then address Raihan House, house number 27, road 15 by A, Sonargaon Jonopod, sector 7, Uttara, Dhaka 1230. And receiver address you have to write to, after to you have to use comma, then the receiver's name Jara, Hassan House number 2, block C, Agrabad, Chattogram. In this way you have to write down sender's and receiver's address. Now students, I have already told you that today we are going to learn how to write a letter to a friend by following an unseen passage. So this is the unseen passage. At first we have to read these passages clearly, properly. After that, by following these passages, we have to write down the letter to whom you want to write. And you must follow the parts of the letter and the position of the parts of the letter. So let's learn. Penguins are a group of aquatic flightless birds living mostly in Antarctica. So here one difficult word, what it is, look at the right side, aquatics. Aquatics means those who grow or live in or near water. Penguins have dark and white feathers. They have flippers for movement in water. So we have also got two difficult words by this time. Flightless. Flightless means unable to fly. And flipper means a broad flat limb without finger used for swimming in water. Most penguins feed on fish, squid and other forms of sea life caught while swimming underwater. They spend half of their life on land and half in the oceans. So here difficult word, what? Feed on. Feed on means live on. Then squid. Squid means used as fish food, which is used as fish food. This is squid. Next, emperor penguins are the largest living species and the blue or fairy penguins are the smallest species. So here another difficult word, species. Species means a group of living organisms consisting of same individuals. Then penguins are not afraid of human beings. This is probably because penguins have no land enemy in Antarctica. Instead, they are at a risk in sea from sharks or leopard seal. In 1986, Silvio Mojola created a famous penguin cartoon character named Pingu. So from these lines, we can also got some difficult words. Shark. Shark means a long-bodied fish with a hard skeleton. And another difficult word, leopard. Leopard means a large solitary cat that has brown coat with black spots. So this is the passages. So what you have to do by following these unseen passages, you have to write a letter. So now let's start how to write a letter. Dear students, though we have already known that there are 5 parts of a friendly letter, so now we will learn again what are the parts and what are the positions of the parts of the letter and what should we write on those parts of the letter. So let's see. First one is heading. In heading, it is what date you write the letter. What you have to write? You have to write address and below you have to write date. And then greeting. In greeting, here what is written? This usually begins with dear and then blank space given. The blank is for the name of the person you are writing. After you write the person's name, you put a comma. So here examples, dear friend, and after that comma used. And then body. This is where you write the message. Always indent the first line. So here examples, how are you doing? I am learning how to write a friendly letter. And then closing. Closing, it is what? A way to say goodbye. And after closing you put a comma. Then 5 number, signature. Signature, that means sign your name. Here you have to write down your name. Actually these are the parts of a friendly letter. You have to follow these parts of the letter and then you have to follow unseen passages, and from unseen passages you have to take the important lines and you have to write the letter. Students, now we will learn parts of the body of a letter. This is important thing. You must remember that when you write the body part of the letter, you have to write 3 paragraphs or 3 steps you have to write. So now we will learn what we have to write in first paragraph, and in second paragraph what we have to write, and in last paragraph what type of sentence we can write. So let's see. First paragraph. Begin with some pleasantries. And then body paragraphs, share news and personal details, reference topics that are relevant to your friend. So what is till here? You must write relevant topics, you must write. And last paragraph, or it is also called conclusion, wrap it up with positive feelings. Or we can also say that you can ending sentences you can write here. Okay, so at the time of writing the body part of the letter, you must follow these 3 steps.
Hello, awesome students of 204 and 206. How do you write a friendly letter? When you write a friendly letter, you need to include a heading, greeting, body, closing, and your signature. What is a heading? The heading is the date you write your letter on. It goes at the top right-hand corner of your paper. Never fear, I come between the day and the year. Don't forget, dun dun dun, Comma Man. What is a greeting? The greeting of your letter should line up on the left side of your paper on the line right after the heading. It always starts with dear and ends with dun dun dun, Comma Man. What is the body? The body of a letter includes all the information you want to write about. You can make statements, ask questions, and answer pen pals questions. How do you write a closing? The closing goes after the body on the right side of your letter, just like the date at the top for your heading. It always starts with a capital letter and ends with dun dun dun, Comma Man. Last but not least, you need your signature. Your signature goes directly below your closing on the right side of your page. It is the last thing you write in your friendly letter. Way to go! I can't wait to read all your awesome letters.
So, students, these are the discussion on how to write a letter to a friend by following an unseen passage. I think all of you have understood today's lesson. So, thank you for watching today's class and try to be safe and sound at home. Assalamu alaikum.